helped organize a lot of events?
Have I ever?
Who's that behind me? Hey, go help him count money.
I remember Father Arsha giving me so many opportunities to speak in church, often without any warning whatsoever. But that certainly was good training.
I always do my best to participate and congratulate members on their birthday celebrations and also enjoy playing bingo and tableau.
In 1983, I was elected on the parish council, which was very difficult for men to give up at that time.
And you know what? Zarawi never gave me a solo.
She got to put that in there. Yes.
And my girlfriend got solos, but I never got a solo. I think that my voice was probably terrible.
As early as 1941, a committee was organized, and by April of 1942, the first parish assembly was held in a converted residence on West Adams Boulevard and was consecrated on December 27, 1942.
No doubt that St. James Armenian Apostolic Church has been the mother church of all churches within the Western Diocese.
I've been very happy that I've shared my life in this wonderful church with all my friends. I was here in 1941 with my wonderful husband, Oshin Kasparian, who has dedicated his life here to this church.
I was the first child baptized at St. James. I was the first girl. They had to have a boy as the first child. So my cousin has that honor.
Everyone was excited about the new church that was going to be built. And finally the consecration took place on December 15th, 1957, and the church was packed. From West Adams to Figueroa, there was solid traffic, all Armenians going to church.
I was born practically at St. James all my life. I have been a member of St. James. My parents were founding members of St. James, my in-laws, and I met my husband here at St. James, Richard Terzian, who was the lawyer when I was the organist. My family, the Mauritanians, have been in this church from probably the very beginning. Aram and I were married in this church.
The parish grew rapidly after the end of World War II, as families moved to the Los Angeles area. The growth began with a new auditorium dedicated in 1949, and the new sanctuary and classroom buildings were consecrated in December 1957.
My earliest memory in the Armenian Church is coming to St. James wearing my powder blue suit on a Sunday. Those years as a child are spiritually, ethically, and in many ways socially, the foundation of my life.
For decades, St. James Armenian Apostolic Church has catered the spiritual nourishment to the faithful members of our church.
St. James is a very special place to me. It's a place where I grew up. It's a place where I took my vows to become a priest in the Armenian Church. I remember the days, in the early days, on Adams Boulevard, and my parents go back even farther than that, my grandparents too. It's a whole family tradition. It's the mother church.
Since 2011, I have been serving this wonderful St. James Church, and being the parish priest of this family is a great honor and privilege for me.
The move to our present parish site at Slauson and La Tijera in southwest Los Angeles began in January 1964, when the property was acquired and first structure of Tan Auditorium was built. The auditorium was used temporarily for church services, and underground parking structures were completed in 1965.
I have served in the Ladies' Society, Mr. and Mrs., Parish Council, picnics and everything, and this was the joy to me.
One of the things I remember was when they organized the junior choir, and I was selected as the organist. My first Easter that I played, I was petrified, but it worked out all right.
When I was 12, my father called Zaroui and said, Zaroui, put these kids, Doris Sarkeesian and I, put these kids in the choir. And that's how I started my life here at St. James at 12.
My wife Gail and I were married here in 1997. All three of our boys were baptized here as well.
I grew up in St. James since I was very young. I remember attending Sunday school with my two sisters, Lynn and Beth.
My mother and father, Harold and Jeanette, brought me to St. James and started me at St. James Armenian Church as a little boy, and they always got me involved in the church, and they kept me involved in the church, and now I'm a parish council member.
Köfteler կպատրաստեին, հանդիսություններ կգադարեին, մեծ մարդիկներ կհրավիրեին եւ տասախոսություններ, հանդիսություններ եւ այլն դեղիգուները.
It's the place where my parents were married. It's the place where I was baptized. It's the place where I was married. It's the place where I chose to have my first child baptized. And it's a place that I know I'll always return to.
We were honored and proud when His Holiness Vazgen I, Supreme Patriarch and Catholicos of all Armenians, officiated the groundbreaking ceremonies for the new sanctuary on May 19, 1968. Construction was completed and the sanctuary was consecrated on March 21, 1971. At this time, the auditorium was enlarged and renamed St. James Goguen Hall in recognition of the role Mr. Goguen had played in the building campaign for the new sanctuary and expansion of the hall.
This church has been so dear to our whole family. My mom and dad had gotten married at the old church over on Adams Street. And then when they had their children, we came here to Sunday school. And after that, my sisters and I even were teaching Sunday school here. And even though I moved down to Orange County, I made sure my kids still came up to St. James for Sunday school.
It's there that I took my vows into the priesthood. Everything that has been important to me as a priest has occurred there at St. James.
For decades, pastors, council members, and auxiliary bodies have together worked to create a new family in the life of the greater Los Angeles community.
Our church is one of the very important and organized parishes of the Western Diocese, and being highly aware of her religious and Armenian educational calling, has served with exemplary effectiveness for many decades.
This church means family to us, and through so much of our lives, the happiness of children and grandchildren and life, we've all come back to St. James.
Այսօր ինձ համար ուրախություն է տեսնել, որ դուք կշարունակեք 75 ամյակով Սուրբ Հակոբի մեզի թողած ժառանգությունը, որում մեջ մենք հոն կգտնենք անցյալի մեր այն ամբողջ անձերը, որոնք շարունակեցին մեր եկեղեցին բայել այդ օրերուն։
Every Armenian apostolic Christian who's devoted to the church has a home parish, and certainly that home parish occupies a special place in their heart. But it seems to me that St. James goes even beyond that.
I personally have witnessed the dedication and the devotion of the faithful members of St. James Armenian Apostolic Church. I have also praised the work of the founders of St. James Armenian Apostolic Church. It has been a long journey in the life of the Western Diocese, and I have full confidence that together we will make justice to the memory of the founders of St. James, but above all to justify what has been entrusted to us as a legacy.
It is like an empire built on concrete, solid. It is the mother church. It is the mother church of here in Los Angeles, and I'm just really happy and proud to be part of this 75th anniversary.
The church thrives by contribution, strength, and vitality of the various church organizations, and under the leadership and guidance of the parish and the parish priest and the parish council. Father Harutyun Tashjan is the present parish priest, serving since September 2011.
In the near future, our church has several goals in mind to revive former organizations such as Armenian language classes, Junior Ladies Society, Armenian Young Married and Singles, and create new organizations such as Men's Forum and others. With these new and existing active organizations, St. James will carry on the legacy and seize the torch and move this beautiful heritage forward.
God bless St. James Armenian Apostolic Church. God bless the mission of our church, and God bless you all and strengthen you all in your Christian faith and commitment. Amen.